Hi guys, today I have a Yin-Yang yoga class for you. Yin-Yang is a practice which balances the slow-paced Yin together with the more active Yang style like your vinyasa and hatha classes. The Yin aspect of this class is going to be a super slow practice which focuses on the deep, dense connective tissues, while the Yang aspect is going to work the muscles and activate the blood flow in our body. I have added more information about Yin-Yang, so make sure to check out the description below. So hop into something comfy and I'll see you on the mat. Hello friends, welcome to our first Yin-Yang class. Today we are going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. Bringing the soles of the feet together and slowly lying down on our back. Arms along the side of the body, palms facing up. Allow the knees to fully open. You can place cushions or pillows underneath the knees for better support. If you feel a tightness in the hip ligament, this is the tissue which connects the leg to the pelvis, known as the hip flexor. If you feel the lower back arching, please place a folded blanket or a thin cushion under the hips. This raises the hips and brings the lower back to the ground. Let's close our eyes and deepen our breath. Lengthen the spine as if you're trying to grow out of the pelvis and slightly pull the belly button into the spine. Today we are beginning and finishing the class with Yin poses as they focus on calming the nervous system, hence activating the rest and digest response in our body. Breathe in and out. Long deep breaths. And exhale all the air out. Okay friends, trying to keep the eyes closed and listen to my guidance. Let's close the legs, knees together, open the arms out to the side, keeping them at shoulder level. Inhale and exhale, slowly twisting the lower body to the left and at the same time rolling the head over to the right. Make sure that both shoulders remain on the mat, so if one of them tends to lift, bringing the knees a little higher will allow both shoulders to stay on the mat. Because the idea is to twist from the belly. That's how we fortify the shoulders and the legs, by being in correct alignment. Alright, now inhale back to center and exhale, taking our spinal twist to the other side. Now that we have awareness of the pose, calm breaths enhance the time to be in the moment, and time is the magic for restorative poses. Releasing back to center, knees into the chest, giving ourselves a big hug, and gently rocking from side to side, massaging the lumbar spine. And from here, hold onto the outside of the feet, coming into a happy baby pose. In this pose, we're opening the hip flexors, stretching the inner thighs, groin, and hamstrings. Feel free to continue rocking gently from side to side. To deepen our practice, focus on feeling the stretch in your body. Allow the breath to be your guide. As we exhale, allow the knees to gently drop closer to the mat. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly, releasing tension from the body. As we're focusing on the breath and sensations in the body, cultivate a sense of inner peace and stillness. This stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system and calms the mind, hence a magical pose before bedtime. Beautiful, my friends. Now let's close the knees and make our way into a tabletop position. We're going to start bringing movement to our body and to get the blood flowing by starting with some hip circles. Inhale, draw circles with the hips to the left and front. Exhale, right and back. Again, inhale, left and front. Exhale, right and back. One more like this. And now let's reverse the circles. Inhale, right and front. Exhale, left and back. Again, big circles with your body. Last one. Inhale, right and front. Exhale, left and back. Curl the toes. And pushing with the hands into the mat, lift the hips all the way into downward facing dog. And let's walk it on the spot, one leg at a time. The aim of this pose is to lengthen the back and open the shoulders, so if the heels don't reach down, that's okay. From here, inhale, moving forward into plank. Exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, push the hands into the mat, cobra. Very nice. Exhale, lower, forehead to the mat. Inhale, push back into a cobra. We're going to flow it out like this a couple of times. Good. Now let's push the hips slightly back, coming into a puppy pose. So we're going to extend the arms forward, resting the forehead on the mat. Make sure to keep the hips in line with the knees so the glutes are effectively pointing to the sky, and allow the chest to come as low as possible for you. The arms are long and away from the ears, belly button into the spine, and don't let the belly drop. Relax the feet. If you want to stretch the arms even more, bring the palms together, bend the elbows, and rest the hands behind the head. A very deep stretch for the shoulders, the triceps, if you have the arms bent, and a great chest opener. Know that one of the hardest things while holding a yin pose is to surrender to the discomfort and to stay still and not allow our thoughts to take control, especially when postures are uncomfortable. We're going to feel different emotions arising, and some of them won't be blissful. But all this means is that you are releasing tension, stress, and possibly anger out of your body. Your biggest guide is to breathe deeply and slowly. One of the main goals when practicing Yin yoga or meditation is to become the observer of our thoughts. In the same way we observe birds or clouds pass by in the sky, observe your thoughts coming and going. We're going to slowly release, coming back onto all fours. Curl the toes, pushing back into downward dog. You can walk it out on the spot, stretching the legs, as we're going to start bringing some movement to the lower body now. And let's do a couple of heel dips, lifting and lowering the heels, stretching the legs. And then when you're ready, take 2 steps to the very front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Last time. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now take a big inhale. Exhale, left foot steps back. Cartwheel the arms, coming into warrior 2. Check that you can see the front toes and looking at the front fingers. Strong body, strong arms. Now let's pivot that front foot and pointing both feet outward, coming into a skandasana, a wide-legged squat on the left leg, stretching the hamstrings and quads. Good. Now let's come up and lower into a wide-legged forward fold. If the fingertips can't reach the mat, place the hands on the thighs, but what's important here is to keep the legs and the spine straight. Very nice. From here, let's make our way back to the front of the mat. So we're just pivoting the feet back to center, lower the left knee, inhale, step it back into a plank, and exhale, push back into downward dog. We're going to take our vinyasa flow. So inhale, move into a plank. Exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, pushing the hands into the mat. Rise like a cobra, holding for a few seconds. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower the forehead. Inhale, rise. Curl the toes, pushing back into downward dog and holding it here for a few breaths. And feel free to walk it out on the spot. Inhale, lift the right leg, bend that knee and bring the front foot forward in between the hands, taking our warrior 2 on the other side. So what we're going to do is coming into a warrior and then pivot the feet so that the left foot points to the back of the mat. Strong arms at shoulder level. The knee does not go over the ankle. And it is said that in this pose one should feel like a warrior, having strength, confidence and power. Now let's straighten the left leg and lower into skandasana. The left toes pointing to the sky. Using the hands, push back into a wide-legged forward fold. Slightly pivot the feet inwards to protect the knees. Breathe deeply, and on the exhalation, let all the air out. And now bring the body back to the front of the mat. We're going to pivot both feet so they point forward, lower the back knee. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, step it back into a plank and pushing the hips up into downward dog. Now let's lift and lower the heels a few times, stretching the legs. Of course, you can do this with the knees bent. Inhale, shoot into a plank. Exhale, lower the knees, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. And push back into a child pose. From here, we're going to transition into a full frog pose. So what we're going to do is turn sideways on the mat and begin to open the knees as wide as possible, taking our time. This is a beginner level class, so I am going to lower halfway and come onto our forearms. It is important to keep the knees and ankles bent at 90 degrees to avoid too much pressure on the joints. This is a very deep hip opener and for many people a challenging pose. So to help you find comfort within this comfort, slightly move the hips forward and back, and remember that your breath is your biggest friend in yoga and in any life challenging situations. You may use as many cushions as you want to support the groin. This will relieve a bit of tension from the hip flexors, and for sensitive knees you can roll up the mat from the sides inward, or just place towels or blankets for that extra cushioning. The beauty about longer holds in Yin Yoga is that we're not only stretching our connective tissues and bringing flexibility to our body, but we're also strengthening our muscles. We're also activating so many different muscle groups in this pose, from the shoulders, the torso, to the pelvis, lower body, all the way down to the feet. Now we're almost finished. Just take deep breaths in and out and broaden the chest with every inhale. Okay friends, we're slowly going to come out of this pose. So first, let's come onto the hands, then bring the heels closer together, and then the knees, heels and knees all the way back to center. Turning to the front of the mat, let's push back into a downward dog, just to release any achiness in those hips. Taking a flow, inhale plank, exhale knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale Cobra, and exhale, let's take our final dog for today. Take a deep breath and come into a seated position on the center of the mat, taking our last Yin pose. Soles of the feet together, keeping them away from the groin, forming a nice diamond shape with the legs. You can hold onto the ankles or take an inhale. Exhale, folding from the hips, keeping the spine straight. Lower the body. This is a variation of the butterfly pose, making it more accessible. If you feel tension in the hip flexors, put cushions underneath the knees. This will help the legs to relax, and over time you will be able to open the hips more. This grounding practice calms the nervous system. In advanced yoga, butterfly pose is used as a preparatory pose for meditative sessions. These kind of forward bends has a role in lengthening the muscles of the spine right from the sacrum to the crown. So we're not only opening the hips but also bringing flexibility to the back, creating space in the spine, releasing stiffness in the shoulders and neck, a major contributor to lower back and hip pain. Let's release and And to finish today's practice, just cross the legs in front of you. Inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach. And exhale, bowing down to ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel stretched out and a little lighter. See you soon again. Namaste.